This episode is brought to you by Mel's Diner, where there is always something in the meatloaf and the bread is always stale. Come by today for the $1.99 sandwich, top included. Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? Hey. Random stuff when you call somebody on the phone. I think my ice machine is broke. Huh. I'm so. I just heard it make like 4 ice, and it was blinking all that. So I
You
spent
have a counter ice
blink.
machine?
Yeah, ice make. You know.
Hey,
Anyway, I mean, I got it from Amazon. I mean, and you know how you do. You don't get a little warranty because look, you spend $4 on a little extra warranty, and something happens for it by the time you uh package it up, send it back, do all that. You like you spend more than $4 doing all that, trying to go to yes.
you done spent that $4 on a lip gloss.
Get a lip gloss. So I'm trying to get my swag back right. Because you know how we go through stuff, right? But my other cousin, she had some Tom Ford lipstick. She gave it to me because it's red and she don't like it. Girl, I was like, oh, got me some luxury lipstick. Girl, that lipstick go on like, I could have got that lipstick from the dollar store. They ought to be shaming themselves. It barely has any color payoff. Girl, whatever. I use that for a lip balm anyway.
Mm.
You know what? I didn't even say who we were. I mean, obviously people know who we are, I hope. But hi, everybody, once again. I'm author Tricia Miller. And
Hey.
this is my guest, my cousin, Sharonda Crome. And
Hey, everybody.
we're just doing a random episode just because we felt like we wanted to do a random episode. I mean, everybody else do random episodes. Right?
Why not? Got something to say.
Got something to say. You got that right. GenX strong. We're going to
get past that.
We're going to talk about that GenX stuff too, though. Because, I have some Boomer Residue because I'm at the first. Yeah, I know I the Boomer Residue. But I'm going to say this, and we're going to leave it alone because I don't want that type of energy in my atmosphere. And I know there's nothing we can do about it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's affecting everybody, whether they're talking about it or not. It's affecting everybody subconsciously or unconsciously or whatever. See, I don't understand. I guess I don't understand, for lack of a better word, evil. It's like this person. See, and I don't even want to say that. Say their name. It's like this person is a petulant, spoiled demon child that just wants to tear down everything that doesn't, have anything to do with what they want, like or how they want society to be. And it's like, why? It's not hurting you. It's not hurting you at all. So why are you spending so much time trying to take away stuff from people who need this stuff or who want to celebrate certain things? Or it's beyond me. And I know that there's nothing, no matter how long I sit here and think about, marinate on it. It's not going to do anything but drive me crazy. Because I just don't understand people like that. And the people that fight this person, I don't understand. I just do not understand. How do you sleep at night how do you, I don't, how do you even love? What kind of love is that? How do you have love in your heart when you got hate for so many other people? It's just beyond me. And I know that I know it's cliche, but I do believe that everything happens for a reason. What that reason is, I have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
You know, unless the universe come down, all the archangels and Jesus and and everybody else come down and say what it is, we ain't gonna we'll never know.
Well, even if they did that, we wouldn't get it because it can't be understood with the mind.
No, it's not. It is not understood why. And I can't even stand. Wait a minute. I would say this because we got to get off. So because it irritates me so that I get frustrated and then I can't get out what I want to get out. But you know how everybody was looking for the aliens and stuff. Okay, so say it's this group of people that's looking for this, so-called good aliens to help us out, right? So what if this person is the head of the bad aliens? If they trying to, take over the world. Like, I mean, look at the way they look. Their skin is all loose and then you can see that orange deep, that line of demarcation around their face. I
Yeah.
mean, it's like what they trying to hide. What if he is an alien for real?
I mean, part of the problem is we didn't catch, as people, as a human consciousness, we're not paying attention to the vibe.
That's
It's
all
strictly
vibe.
surface. Right. I I've always felt the off vibe, and we are very fascinated as human beings by surface level things and the appearance of goodness in the form of money.
See, I know what you and I got problems,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't care how much money they got. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I
Right.
could never stand to look at ever. Not when they had that show, back in the day.
Yeah.
Whatever. I could never stand to look at them. Something has always been off. He has these look on his face like, I mean, I know
Yeah,
people.
because we can see that look.
I know it.
I mean, that face you just made, we
can
see that.
Yeah. It's like, what is wrong with him? And then that stupid fist, messed up fist. He's not even making a fist. What is that? It's just, y'all, I'm so sorry. I can't let that mess me up.
No, you can't.
Oh my goodness. It is awful. It is awful. It's just so awful. And for anybody, and I'm going to repeat, because I had the same, and I totally agree. I'm gonna repeat what Tabitha said. What's the name of her channel?
Tabitha Speaks Politics.
Tabitha Speaks Politics. If you encouraged somebody to vote for third party, if you discouraged somebody to not vote, if you encourage somebody to vote for that clown, all this stuff that's happening, it's your fault. It's your fault.
And I get that. And here we are in the present moment. And it's time to walk the talk, period. We've been saying for years and years and years, well, we're going to do this and we're going to do that and we're going to look up and we're going to build. And here is our opportunity to strengthen our community in the way that needed to be strengthened. Because we're so individualized, here is our opportunity. We have been presented with the opportunity to show that a community is stronger than one. So, I mean, get your feelings out. right? Feel how you need to feel, and then action. Then what? We can't just keep being in our feelings about it all the time. We have to do something. And if, just like Jesus said to the man, do you want to be healed? In our intellectual mind, we're like, heck yeah, we want to be healed. But he said, pick up your mat and walk. So that means we have to do some action towards our own healing, period. Right? Otherwise, because nobody's coming for us. Nobody's coming for us.
Well, don't you let them people hear you say, yeah, I know. I know.
So we got to save ourselves.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, Jesus been here and gone. I mean, and then he might just be down here chilling, watching what's going on.
But the collective loke-up might be the second coming.
Might be.
We need to collectively loke up.
But you know what? Okay, see, we got into another, because we done went to it in another direction, because if we could quit infighting and love each other, all the black and the brown, and come, get on one accord. I mean,
yeah.
What's the stop?
Yeah, and here's our opportunity to get on one accord. I personally looking forward to being on one accord, because it's unlimited what we can do when we're in one accord. If you see little communities thriving despite all the attempts to kill them, but they have such a tight-knit community that we all die together or we will thrive together. And if we could reach that level of mindset, we're going to die together. There is no me without you, right? We're going to thrive together or we're going to die together. That's where we at.
That's where it needs to be. And I'm talking about black people, brown people, and light people, and the light brown people who don't think they brown people, but they really brown people. Okay?
We talked about this before. When you put life at the center and not greed and individualism, we can go far.
We can't give up on our goal. We can't let situation have us balled up on the sofa,
And if you are balled up on the sofa, because we can't do this traumatized. We can't do this in a healthy way. Traumatized. It won't work. So we have to, sometimes, if what you need to rest your nervous system is to ball up on the sofa for a little while.
Not
isolated though. Your community got to be checking on you, boo. Right? Okay, you all right? You all right? But if you isolated and balled up on the couch, that's detrimental. But if you're balled up on the couch in community and you allowed to rest, that's different. That's a whole different vibe.
It is a totally different vibe, because we need our rest in order to accomplish the things that we need to accomplish. We need our physical rest and our mental rest. We can't out trying to fight.
And that's why black women said, you know what, y'all got this. We going to rest. We going to rest our nervous systems. We going to take care of ourselves. And then when we in that restful space, when we get the download to do what's next, then we'll do it. But we ain't on y'all time. Y'all disregarded us when we was trying to tell y'all what was really going on, and y'all had no time for it. So listen, it makes me uncomfortable for people to have to live with the consequences of their actions. And it involved me too, right? I'm a little bit uncomfortable. I have to sit with that discomfort. So I'm going to sit with my discomfort, and I'm going to be still and know. And when I get called to get up off my mat and go into action, like for real, not ego action, but spirit-inspired action. And we do that together, all facets of the movement are needed. So when everybody get in formation,
the revolution will be televised. Yeah.
That's
Okay,
right.
let's get off of that. Girl, wait a minute. I thought about you and I thought about me. Yes, was it yesterday? I think when I was driving, I was on my way back to work and I didn't see anything that this truck had done, right? So these people turning left onto one of the streets and it was a truck and then this tire behind him. And so, of course, I just see that because I don't know what happened on the street, you know, before. Well, I saw the man in the car give the man in the truck the finger. Started laughing. And I was like, oh, Lord, people are still road raging. And I fight to keep my road rage under control. One thing you'll be proud of me, and then one thing that you will say, well, you're working on it. So I tell you the one thing you'll be proud of me first, okay? So I was driving la di da, and this person, of course, was on my tail, right? And you know, I already kind of got a heavy, but it's not as heavy as it used to be. But you know, so if I'm on a 45-mile-an-hour street and I'm going 55, there's no reason for you, and I'm in the right-hand lane, there's no reason for you to be on my tail, right?
Agreed.
So he zoomed from behind me, zoomed back in front of me in order so he could make the same right-hand turn that I was getting ready to make. And I wanted to give him the finger so bad, but I had my hand down by the door and I was balling up. And I balled up my fist and I was like, oh. So I didn't give him the finger.
Good job.
I said, oh, my cousin will be so proud.
Well, you know, it's really about safety. It's really about safety. And, you know, people are so just hyper vigilant and ready to pop off. And they got to get to where they got to go. And any hindrance to that is a reason to, you know, be mad. So this is one of those times when I like try to be the bigger person. I'll be like, I'm gonna bless you on your way, boo boo. Cause I, you know, I know firsthand what the result of road rage can be for people. And so I'm just like, you know, I be cussing people out in the car, but I ain't throwing up no hands.
So full transparency here. And this had to be, I'm going to say 40. Now, see, this is really to be able to say 40 years ago. That is amazing. And it's so, see, now that's a whole different conversation right there. So we won't talk about that right now because that's doing a mind F on me too. So let's just say 40 years ago, I wasn't so... So there's this street, and I'm just telling this because so people know my struggle. That when I'm able to keep it in, then I am doing awesome. Okay. There's this street that we drive on that there's 3 lanes, but one lane, the right-hand lane, you have to turn right. You have to. The street ends right there. The other 2 lanes go straight. You know what street I'm talking about, Balance, right? Turning onto Balance off Will. So I was in the second right-hand lane, which means I'm going straight, and then this person is on the outer right-hand lane, which means they're supposed to turn. Well, they didn't turn, and they kept going, and I almost ran into the back of them. Oh my goodness. So I followed them. And
wow.
I did. I did. I was cussing her out all the way, and I was following her. And I don't know. I think she saw me, but I don't know the way I was driving. I'm serious. I don't know how I lost, but it just had to be the grace of God that I did lose her because, and I can't tell you what was going on in my life at that time, but yeah, I followed her because I felt like really beating her up. Okay, guys, listen, a wonderful person.
She is. She is.
Yeah. I have had some anger issues in the past, and the first step to recovery is admitting. So that's that.
Yeah. I don't know if we know how to, when all we really have to do is pay attention to what is causing our frustration before it turns into anger, right? And handle that part. But no, we build it or we let it build or we gaslight ourselves or, oh, it ain't nothing, but it really is something. But we don't want to tell the person that it's really something. And then somebody who don't deserve that ass whooping gets it or get that cuss out. And it was like, was that really for me?
Yeah, yeah. It's weird how sometimes you just have, and I mean, maybe some people don't know, but we know it's your frustration building or that has built up, and you're thinking, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm working on this, I'm doing this, and it just doesn't seem to be yielding any results. What is going on? I don't know, and you don't want to, and then you people say stupid stuff and do stupid stuff, and it's like, what are you doing? What is wrong with you? Why are you stupid?
That is hilarious. And I know that you don't like this, right? But the mirror principle, right? What is unconscious about them that is impacting what's unconscious in you?
Got a envelope. I know how to
but it's not the action itself. It's the unconscious material that we're not aware of. But it's somehow, if the envelope issue is sending you up the wall to that level, it's not the envelope issue.
Not just the envelope. I mean, it's just so many other things that I see that some grown people just don't know how to do, or they just don't know. And I'm thinking, first of all, if you don't know, you have this phone in your hand 20 hours a day, almost.
Right.
You can't look it up. You can't look it up.
How do they know they're doing it wrong? That's your assessment that they're doing it wrong.
If it's something that they don't know.
But again, do they know that they're not doing it right?
But you don't know that Los Angeles is in California?
Some people don't know that. I mean, it's sad to say, but if they're walking around with the assumption that I have all the information that I need to have, then what will prompt them to look it up unless somebody says to them, hey, you might want to look at that, and said without judgment.
Listen, if you come and tell me Idaho is in Illinois, I'm going to judge.
Don't judge them. Judge the school system. Because how do we get this far in life and not know our states at least?
I know.
Because again, that points to the individual problem, not the systemic problem. Right? It's a systemic problem because that's not the only person that has that issue. Right? There's a whole generation that can barely read. That's not an individual thing. That's a systemic thing.
You're right. But it's like, why is it almost a whole generation when, okay, so like, remember when we were kids and like, we had the encyclopedias
in the house?
Yeah, and the dictionary. And I would ask, and I know your mama did the same thing, but I would ask, Mama, what is this? What does so-and-so mean? Go look it up.
I know. It got to the point where I was just reading the encyclopedia.
I know that. Girl, I used to like reading that too. That was the bomb.
Yeah, especially if you had the black encyclopedia. That's how I fell in love with Sidney Poitier, honey. I read all about his life.
Oh my God, we didn't have that one. We didn't
Yeah.
have. We just had World Book encyclopedia
with the gold edges.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's how I knew that almost everything that came out later on in life, they had already been making that stuff.
Yeah.
Phones with TVs on them and stuff. They had already been making that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. And we don't turn to that anymore. We didn't, there's so much out there that's fascinating. And so we're just like, whoa, what is that? We was bored as hell. If we wasn't bored as hell and trying to keep our butts out of trouble, read the encyclopedia.
Well, what choice did I have? I was the only child. So I that's all I did was read. And I kid you not, I remember, and I don't know, I can't remember the exact years. Whatever it was between 1970 and 1973 or whatever, I don't know. But I could remember reading about Richard Nixon in the newspaper. Why am I reading about Richard Nixon in the newspaper in the first, second, or third grade?
And the conversations, I remember conversations we were having in like the 6th grade, when I was in the 6th grade, and we had to do these drills, and this whole mini series came out. Do you remember this mini series that came out? It was about the end of the world. And we as kids are like having these serious, intense conversations about the end of the world.
Was it the one with the nuclear bomb?
Yes.
Okay, so see, I was older. See, I got a couple years on you, so we kind of made a joke. I know what you're talking about, because everybody refers to that scene in the movie where the people are on the fence and the fire. My God. Yes, I remember.
Yes.
So you were a kid having intense conversations.
Yes. And I understand that. And what I'm trying to say is the news and the TV was all, newspapers, magazines, that what was in front of us was all we had. So that's where our attention was, right? Now it's a little bit different, because I'm not saying that these young people are not having intense conversations. But what I'm also saying is there's a lot of distractions that can numb, like the seriousness of some of these things that's happening in the world today. Because I can distract myself really well. I keep it real. I'm not above a healthy or an unhealthy, for that matter, distraction with the soothing TV. And I did take Facebook and Instagram off my phone, but honey, I could spend some time on Pinterest. So
distractions. Rabbit hole. You don't want to know. Oh,
yeah. I mean, because I feel like when you get out of the matrix and you's like mind blown, and you see, and it's like, I didn't really want to see, but I wanted to see, and now I know all this. And even if I went back into the matrix, what I couldn't forget. I mean, I can't pretend like I don't know anymore. It's like once you know, you know.
No, it's too late. It's too late. And when you see certain things, and it irritates you. It just irritates me. And I just think, like, how are you even thinking like that? How are you even? Okay, I ain't gonna get it. Anyway, I gotta tell you about this rabbit hole.
Yeah.
But wait a minute. Let me tell you about this. I listened to Irresistible Bitch this morning on the way to work. And I played it in a minute. Can't remember if we had put that on the list or not when we talked about.
I don't think we did.
Think we did. I can't believe I forgot that song. If Anybody, if you have never heard Irresistible Bitch by Prince, you need to play it right now. The in that song, that's what makes that song right there. I mean, for real. So I had to say that. You know, I got to say something about Prince. Girl, before I go down, tell you about the rabbit hole I went down. You know what? I sold one book.
Yes, one book is better than 0 books. See,
I know. Here you
that
go.
offline.
She get ready to scold me, y'all. And she the baby cousin. And she the one always trying to put me in my place. She ain't the boss of me.
I'm not. You right about that. I'm not the boss of
I'm the boss of her.
And you sold. You sold. And just came out of nowhere?
No.
You just looked up and you saw it?
No, it's a girl at work.
Okay.
Yeah. So that book, by the way, is Yellow Cake Chocolate Frosting, available on Amazon. It's good.
It's good.
So, girl, the rabbit hole I went down, and I can't believe I'm tripping. I must have been a podiatrist in a past life because it went down the podiatrist rabbit hole. Well, they say Pisces have a thing about keeping their feet together, you know. Okay, so, girl, I ain't never seen no shit like that in my life. Okay, I'm talking people ain't had their toenails cut in a year. I'm talking people that's got a half-inch thick calluses, a half-inch thick corn fungus all over for days. Okay, let me make something clear before somebody get in the comments and be talking about, you know, everybody can. Yeah, I know. Okay, I'm not talking about people who are unable to care for themselves, and I'm not talking about sick people, people who have issues with caregivers, and I mean, really, you know, neglect. I'm not talking about that. Who are unable to care for their feet. Okay? Let's get that straight. I'm talking about these young, able-bodied people coming there talking about what they done did at work and what they did when they went to get their feet done and all of this. And you mean to tell me you can't scrape your feet? Why your feet dirty? Why you got fungus all in between your toes and your toenails all black and jacked up? If you don't have no insurance, they got stuff you can buy from the store. Look it up online. You can get some tea tree oil. You can get some oregano oil. You clean your feet. You can buy some antifungal spray. You can soak your feet every week. And I see all these dudes. They be doing a lot of dudes like young, and they be talking about and they ain't got no illness. I ain't talking about people that's got diabetes. Yeah. You know, diabetic people have issues with their feet.
Right.
Secret, I'm diabetic. I don't have issues with my feet.
Right.
I take care of my feet. So I also have rheumatoid arthritis. I'm in pain almost all day, every day. But I also manage to do my feet when I don't go to the salon. So if I can bend my fat, stiff butt over and scrape my feet, then they ought to be able to cut them fungally toenails. I just could imagine, you know, they talking about they got about 9, 10, 11 pair of tennis shoes and all this, and you got all these fungly toes. And you probably out at the club trying to holler at somebody, and then you gonna go over their house and take your shoes off.
Boy,
You got the funky feet.
is that a red flag for you?
Girl, red flag like a mug. You not, no fungly feet. No fungly feet.
Oh, boy.
You can scrape your feet, do your feet, take care of your feet, wash your feet.
That's some rabbit hole.
Girl, I mean, rabbit hole like a mug. I had compassion for the people, really the ill people, like the really old people that got like caregivers and stuff like that. That's not care of them and stuff. Be pissing me off, But you know, 30, 40, 50, 60-year-old able-bodied clown about, I don't know what to do.
Boy.
Look it up on Google if you can't go to the doctor, first of all.
Yeah, we're not for a lack of information, that's for sure.
Girl, you're not finna get in my bed with no fungly. You're not finna walk on my floor with no fungly feet.
Oh my God, not fungally.
It's calluses. I just think I need this is a stress reliever for me, and I needed it today. So yeah, that was a rabbit hole, but I just tripped me out. You know how I am. I can't help it because I'm thinking I used to me. And I think it was because back in the day, I used to wear them Payless shoes, horns, stuff. And then I used to stand on my feet doing hair and stuff. So my feet used to be worse than they are now.
Yeah.
So I used to, and then, working in a beauty shop, you don't have no insurance unless you paying for it. And I wasn't no insurance right then. So I'm picking the stuff off my own, Come on, y'all. Please.
This is not medical advice.
Oh, I am not a doctor. I am not a doctor. I used to have a cosmetology license, so that was it. But I am not a doctor. Do not take any of my advice because I used
to do your own research.
I used to use razor blades on my feet.
Oh.
Yeah. I stopped. But you know what? I am going to the podiatrist next week because you know what? You, as a diabetic, you're supposed to go. And I do have one issue. I have a ingrown. And that hurts. And I cut it fine, but I need him to cut it because I don't want to mess around and cut half my toe.
Yeah. Let's not create.
I know.
I support.
Thank you. I said, okay. You forgot? Did you forget, Patricia, that you was diabetic and you using a razor blade on your feet?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. The habits got to change like drastically once that is made known, right? Like I'm not gonna call myself a diabetic. I say I'm living with diabetes at the moment, and
diabetes.
Wilford Brimley, he warned us. We didn't listen. Diabetes.
I do it.
Just the eye-opening thing for me was I thought I was eating healthy, but I was not eating in accordance with what is healthy for a person with living with diabetes. So that was a whole switch up for me.
Ain't it a whole switch up?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm on this program called Berta right now.
Yeah.
And it's just like totally up. And I don't want to trigger the vegan Nazis. My coach, she doesn't recommend that for trying to reverse diabetes, So
I'm struggling with that. I really am. I'm struggling with because it's been so long that I've been, and I struggle. I struggle with that. No, because you get there's two sides to everything. Everything is polarity. And there's like over here they're saying animal protein is the best thing for you. And over here they're saying no. Plant-based protein is the best thing for you. And I'm really just trying to navigate what my conscious and my body needs. I'm trying to reconcile those two. And it's a journey.
I was like, I'm kind of tired of eating this meat. I wasn't going to go back to being totally vegan like I was before, but this is, because I told her what I ate yesterday, and she was like, well, you didn't have enough protein. Make sure you get some. And I was like, tired of meat. I mean, I don't have to eat meat every single day, first of all.
Right.
But I mean, I got to do what's right. I gotta first this issue. I'm not fixing to be laid up with my leg cut off. I'm not fixing to do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, but girl, that rabbit hole. I got to get off of that. I got to get off the rabbit hole. I got to get off the rabbit hole.
Get off the rabbit hole.
Get off the rabbit hole. But you know what? And I think it's that's just not the only reason. I'm just saying that, because Mama did a lot of stuff. I was her only baby, all that stuff. And she taught me how to do a lot of stuff when I was a little girl. She taught me how to do my feet, and and she did my eyebrows when I was, I don't know, how I was in junior high school or something. I don't know. And all of that different kind of stuff. I'm thinking, when I see in anybody, and it don't even have to be as bad as these people that's on the YouTube podiatry videos, but why your feet crusty? Do your feet. Don't wear no sandals with no crusty feet. And you could tell they don't wash their feet good. Because when the doctors soak them and they be doing the work on them and stuff, you know how the cuticle build up?
Yeah.
Girl, it be
getting very uncomfortable. Yeah, if I want to go down, if I did.
GenX with Boomer Residue.
Tough exterior, tender inner center. Trying to get to that tender center.
You have a tender center.
I always say I'm a crusty old bird with a tender center. I got some crust. I can acknowledge.
Yeah, you do, because you only 5 years from it? No,
71.
Okay, so then you only 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
Right on the bus. So, got some Boomer Residue. I remember when you told me, and I was like,
oh. I remember when you told me.
Well, yeah, I don't even know what we were talking about, but I must have been describing something that somebody had on, and I said something about a wife beater.
I remember that.
I didn't mean nothing. Because they've been calling them that for I don't know how long. How long?
Have they been? A long time. A long time. And I was like, we don't say that anymore.
Hey, what? Well, who are they? We wear tank tops. Dudes don't wear tank tops.
Dudes don't wear wife beaters either.
I know it. I know. My God. I mean, and I'm just talking like, blah, da, 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 da. Yeah, he had some jeans and flies, and he had on a wife beater, and then blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. There's a lot of negative connotations for that.
It is. Because I can remember when I first heard them calling them that, it was kind of like, well, dang, why they gotta call them that?
Right.
It's kind of, this was like, okay.
That's what everybody's saying.
Yeah. And that was it.
Yeah. Some things just don't age well.
No, you're right. You're right. But this one here, and I ain't even gonna say the whole word because I don't want nobody.
Don't even go there.
Why? Because I'm getting ready to say it, but I'm not gonna say the whole word. But we have to discuss it because you could call your friends and your loving cousins different words, and they know you love them. You know, just like if I call you, girl, you, what's up, clown? You know, I'm like, hey, you know, what's up, clown? What's up, love?
Yeah.
Why you acting like a clown? What clowning? So we got this word that starts with an R.
Jesus.
What?
I'm just waiting.
GenX Boomer Residue is not my fault. I'm not using it on the people that they use the other proper name. I'm not saying that because that's different. And I understand that.
Mm-hmm.
Even though that word used to be an official medical term. Now it's not anymore, and I get it. So they changed it. So that's what you refer to the people with that medical issue.
Mm-hmm.
But if my cousin is doing something stupid and I say, we acting her,
Oh boy.
what's,
Oh boy.
what? Who gon' I bet you I get some comments now. Ain't nobody commented on one of my you hear us a one of my hi, but I bet you I get some now.
I wonder why. And this is just me wondering. Why we find it so difficult
to start
using
using
terms
terms
that
that
our people find offensive just because we want to, or just because we're used to doing it.
but if we're not using it in an offensive situation,
Says it's not offensive. We're so used to being not talked to properly. I don't know, Pat. I don't like the term. I didn't even like it as a medical term. You know, been in the medical field forever. I never liked the term. It doesn't. I don't know. You know, I'm in a different phase now where I just don't like the term. That's just me. My own personal opinion. And with all that I'm doing, and I'm not saying everybody has to be like me. I'm just talking about my walk and my walk alone. If a community says, hey, stop using this word derogatorily, then stop using the word derogatorily. That's how I feel about it. You know, we didn't want to be called Negroes, right? Now we're Black. In some people's mind, we didn't want to be called that. And so we decided, a group of people said, hey, who that term has been put on them, medically or otherwise, have said, hey, I feel a certain type of way when you use that term. Please stop. And we do it anyway. I don't know. That doesn't feel good to me in my walk.
judge
We listen and we don't judge. Sometimes, unless, no, I'm just playing.
unless because okay, I understand. No, don't get me wrong. I understand.
And to your point, there was this whole thing, the Black Eyed Peas. Let's get it started, right?
Mm-hmm.
That song was initially called "Let's Get Retarded," meaning just like
just
turn
go,
up, lose your
turn
shit,
up,
right?
just
Yes.
turn up.
And the people was like, "Oh, And so now we have a new hit. that was just as good or better. Yeah.
One piece of music history that I did not know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you know that a black man invented ranch dressing?
I did not know that.
Yes. And I don't want to stop and look it up because it'll be too much. But anyway, yeah, he did.
I'm going to go to the encyclopedia and look that up.
Awesome.
You are having too much fun.
I needed it. I needed it. I needed it. And I'm getting it when the rest of my stuff gets here. I'm having it set up and we're going to start video. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And I'm excited.
I'm excited for you. That's very cool.
And I'm just going to keep doing it. I mean, why not? Why not?
Yeah. You got stuff to say.
Do I have stuff to say? I have too much to say. I think that being an only child has done something to my brain. That's what some people say. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's they say that only children are supposed to be financially stable. Well,
Well,
yeah, I meant to email that list to myself so I could to read it off, but they were just saying stuff that we, already know is true. Like firstborns and only children are resourceful and independent, and I was close with my mom. Uh, what else? Of high intelligence. What else was on there? Like to be alone. Yeah, don't have a problem with being alone.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you are like a whole writer over here.
Right, right. With all the books in my head, my God. So yeah, I had an imagination as a kid, boy, I'm telling you. I was yeah, I'm surprised I did have some friends because I was different. But it was so remember when we used to sell Mary Kay?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. What else did you sell?
I was the party plan queen. I sold Mary Kay. I sold black art. I sold coaching. I sold romance enhancements.
Remember that?
I sold those little nail sticker thingies, which are actually very cute, but still MLM. I sold insurance. I sold total life changes, that weight loss tea and supplements and things. I felt like I was in a lot of
You
different.
sold
And
essential oil.
yes, I was in which I believe in the power of essential oils, but I don't believe in the power of MLM. Not for me anyway. It's not for me. And
So
I did the work and I bugged my family and I bugged my neighbors and my coworkers and they couldn't stand to see me coming.
so but you didn't ruin your life.
I didn't ruin my life.
I didn't
I
ruin my
could have. I could have. If I would have stayed, because if I get a sniff of the Kool-Aid, and with this one, it took me, I thought it was the companies and not the model, right? Because I was stiff the Kool-Aid and I'm like, because I'm doing the thing, right? I'm doing what they're telling me to do. I'm going to these meetings. I'm spending the money that I don't have to get these inventory on these products. I'm doing the stuff that they recommended. I'm going to the coaching and I'm doing all the stuff, right? And then it started to feel sketchy to me. I was like, this no longer feels good to me. This is not fun. I'm not, because I really thought something was wrong with me. Like I took that shit personally. And I think it was one particular supplement company that I was with, and I looked deeply at the compensation plan, and I was like, this is a effing hustle. And what made me so mad is that their product was really good, but their compensation plan really sucked. It was a hustle, and everybody, the way they moved was fast talking, salesy. If you ain't first, you're last kind of shit. And I was like, you know what? I can't do this no more. I'm done. And then I went back into it one more time. And then I was for real.
But you didn't never tell me that you was still in that kind of way.
That's kind of embarrassing because it's tied to your performance or your willingness to perform. And so if I'm not performing, then I'm not thinking positive enough. I'm not manifesting enough. I'm not,
How do you think I would have,
No. And I don't know if it was even to just now. I feel comfortable enough to say that was what I was feeling during those times. And because I got into MLMs young and that behavior was happening when I was young, I took that on. Like I'm looking at these women as successful, not knowing the shenanigans, right? So when they would quote unquote correct or critique me, I took that in because I was really serious about being successful in this.
That's the difference.
And to have the repeated, because like I said, I thought it was the company, not the process. Because I could sell the products. The products wasn't the problem, but getting people to join, they couldn't stand to see me coming.
That's the difference between me and you with it, because we all started selling something. I mean, I did jewelry. I can't even think of the name of the jewelry company. I don't even think they exist. And it wasn't Sarah Coventry. A Tempo, I think. That was the name of the jewelry company. I did Avon. I did Mary Kay like two different times, 2 or 3 different times. What else? Can't remember. And so I had it just in my mind. I didn't go to none of them meetings. I wanted to sell to Mary Kay because I wanted some Mary Kay. And to me, and this is my personal opinion, but those of you who are triggered by MLMs, I thought that 50% was a good deal. We would buy and see, it might have changed now. I don't know what it is now. But back when we were doing Mary Kay, we bought the product at 50% off and we sold it. Like if we bought it at $10, we sold it for $20. And that's all we had to do. We bought our kit, and the kit wasn't even that expensive. It was, I don't know, it wasn't even $100. And we had got a good kit. And so all I wanted the Mary Kay was to sell enough products to stay active so that I could get my Mary Kay at the discount. And the same with Avon. I wanted to sell enough to stay active so I could buy my whatever I wanted at the discount. Now, I don't remember what the Avon discount was, but it was good. I tell you that. Whatever I sold, I mostly all the time spent mine on Avon. And the jewelry, I don't even hardly remember. That was so long ago. That was like really a long time ago. Them people didn't make me do nothing. I was like, I ain't going to that. I ain't got time.
Well, we had different motivations though.
Yeah, right. And I never looked at it as trying to be, get the pink Cadillac. That was never my motivation. And so when I watch these people talk about how MLMs are a scam and LMMs, blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking, well, ain't everybody a MLM almost? I mean,
there's hierarchy and everything. Yes.
So you know what you're doing when you sign up to it. And that all depends on you, how you want to work it. I mean, I don't know.
They say.
But girl, that's that Gen X, that for real good Gen X. Because I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. One thing I went to was it was a conference, but it wasn't just a Mary Kay conference. I don't even remember. It was so long ago, I can't even remember. It was some kind of conference, and me and then my other cousin, Stephanie, we were selling at the time, and we had a tape. We were vendors, and that's like the only thing I did. I didn't go to no meetings. I didn't care about trying to recruit. I ain't never tried to recruit nobody. I was like, hey, you want to sell it? If they did, I was like, okay. So yeah, okay. I don't know. Sometimes, and I know, I can know where that comes from. I don't know. I'm gonna let you analyze me on that.
Not qualified to analyze.
Well, I mean, for real. I know I could be kind.
Well,
but I'm very sweet and kind, and I'm a teddy bear.
And you know what? Context shapes everything. We're related, but we have two different contexts.
But then we do some stuff alike.
Yeah.
Walk around like I wish a mom would.
Well, yeah. Yeah. But if I let you in there, you in there,
Yeah.
That's a Capricorn thing.
Mm-hmm.
Loyal.
Mm-hmm.
To a fault. But when you in, you in. Take a minute.
I can be loyal to a fault, but then I've also learned that basically when I'm done, I'm done. It ain't no period. It ain't no another chance. It ain't no nothing. Bye. It's over. No. So yeah, they talk about that being. I mean, I know other people are like that too, but they talk about that being a Pisces.
Yeah.
That as warm as we can be. We can just as cold.
Yeah.
It's that those two fish swim in opposite direction.
Yeah.
And that's true. That is the truth. Because you act like you don't know me, I don't know you either. For real. I've run it. I know some people like that, and it trips me out because it's like, first of all, I've never done anything to you. And it's like, why you act like you don't know me? So you act like you don't know me. Was you shuffling cards? Yes, you were. You wasn't? Oh.
I was typing you a message.
Oh, well, I guess we have clowned for enough. I don't know. I was going to split this up in two, but I don't know if I'm going to. I mean, it's an hour and 19, 20, whatever minutes. Somebody listen to it, they could stop and go back. I'm not. Look, my editing skills, y'all, we just doing the thing, okay? Okay?
Free flow,
right? And I'm going to put all of our information once again in the description box, and I just hope that you guys have a wonderful day, a wonderful night, a wonderful weekend wherever you are, and I appreciate you listening, liking, subscribing, sharing, and the next podcast will more than likely we will be talking to another author about a book.
Nice.
All right. Thanks, Sharonda.
Good night, everybody.
See ya.